Going inside Memorial Sports, this is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I got to switch my standings back. We went from baseball to softball, and now we're going back to baseball. This is the other half of what we talked about with Mark Giannis earlier. The big game in Lubbock, Texas tomorrow. Estacado goes out to Memorial for a 7 p.m. game in District 5-4A. That's two of the teams. You guys' district is just all bunched up. You got Liberty, Big Spring, and everybody else just kind of fighting for their lives in the middle.
It is.
I'm joined by Memorial coach Brandon Roberson. I'm going to have him introduce his two guys so that you know who you're looking at on TV, and then we'll get them to talk so you know who's talking by voice.
Yeah, so we have Barrett Roberson. Barrett's a right-handed pitcher, infielder, kind of a utility player. And Luke Bocanegra. Luke's also a right-handed pitcher and our shortstop. And we get Barrett and Luke here.
The bigger question with Barrett, does he keep his room clean?
I could lie, but it could be better for sure.
Because if you didn't catch that, same last name, this is your youngest son.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're a two-time boy dad.
Correct.
And
Two boys.
I'm a two-time girl dad, so we probably should compare notes on how to
different challenges, I'm sure, altogether, but both have their own.
There we go. And Luke, I didn't know this until Coach told me the other day, you had an older brother that played at Friendship.
Yes, sir.
So you've been around, and I mentioned this to Connor the other day, you've got a lot of guys, not only are they good baseball players now, and they've been brought up in that Friendship system, but a lot of your guys have just been around baseball since they were little bitty in some form or another. How much positive thing is that for you that these are baseball kids?
Yeah, well, they've been coached well coming up. They've obviously played a lot of ball. It definitely shows when we get them in there, and the coaching that is required. These kids know the game already, pretty well. And I will say, I want to say that Luke's brother was, I tell stories about him sometimes with other teams and kids, but Luke's a tough kid. Barrett's a tough kid. We got some tough kids, but Luke's brother is one of the toughest kids that I've ever coached.
And I was a baseball guy myself. When a baseball coach is talking about tough, it's physical, but it's also up here in the noggin.
It is for sure, and it's vital to have that as a part of your one of your tools. Mental toughness. It's really key. So we're working on that. We're young and we're still working on that part of things. But guys are coming around, getting better. So.
Well, both of you guys, I think what Coach is just talking about is a good segue, because you'd lost a couple games in a row. A really entertaining game against Liberty that went right down to the last pitch. Then went and lost to Lakeview. Could have gone to Levelland and let that thing keep sliding a little bit, but you guys took care of business, and I put this on social media. That's a big win for a young team to go lose two in a row and then go to a pretty good baseball environment and get a win. Do you guys talk about that mental toughness, David? Or I just called you your brother's name. Luke, do you guys talk about that, about what you have to do, or is it just being baseball guys that you got to flush what happened and get ready to go?
Yes, sir. We talk about it all the time. Just get over what happened behind us and let it go.
What about you? You're a coach's kid. I did a story a long time ago about with coaches and their kids. Sometimes there has to be a line drawn that you get in the car or you get home and it's dad and son. It's not coach and player anymore. But you've been around it a lot. Did I mention this to? I think it was the Snyder game when I talked to you afterwards. You guys don't play like young guys right now. You play like guys who've been doing this a while.
Yes, sir. It doesn't. We've put in all the work, and we've shown that we can hang with all the varsity players and all their teams, and being able to compete is how he coaches us and everyone.
I think I even mentioned to your dad that night I mentioned that you struck me as being a really mature person. I didn't ask him about your room that night, so that might have been a different conversation. What I just said there, Brandon, You guys lost those 2 games, and that was a chance for your guys to maybe start fading a little bit. What did they do so well at Levelland to get that win?
Well, to start, Caden Garcia had a fantastic game. He had been one of our district starters, and we decided to start J.D. Gideon in that ball game, and he got us a couple of innings, and then we went to Caden, and Caden just, one of the best games I've seen him throw. And on top of that, he was 4 for 4, hit a home run. So we had a big night out of him. We had a big night out of quite a few guys offensively. We still gave up 3 runs in the first, and we got to start better. We're working on that, but it was a big win to go on the road after losing 2 district games, and so that was a big one for us for sure.
We'll come back. We got one more segment. We're going to talk more Memorial Baseball after this in the High School Fan Zone.
This is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the Panther Fan Zone on this Monday night. I'm Randy Rosetta. We're on 100.7 The Score and Fox News Now. We're talking Memorial Baseball. Panthers have a game against Estacado tomorrow at 7 p.m. at their place. It's on Sunny 97.7 FM. I think Clint Scott will be out there. Have to share the press box with him and answer some of his strange questions every once in a while as he watches these guys. Have you guys met your radio guy? I know Coach has met him. He's at Kansan like me, so he sort of knows what he's talking about. And he's a Royals fan, so that's all right with me. I've crossed some good things off on the list on him. Estacado is, Brandon, you've been around this area for a long time. They're never not good. Mark has, and when Victor was with them, they're just fundamentally sound. They're not going to make a ton of mistakes. They're pitching the ball really well right now. Struggling a little bit offensively, but getting these guys ready to play them, and then you finish up the week at Coronado. So your guys are going to get their fill of facing guys they know pretty well. But Estacado game's got a little bit more weight to a district game. But what does Estacado do well from what you've scouted?
Well, they always play hard, like you said. Coach Giannis has been there a long time. He's built something that he's continued, even before he was there. And, I can remember years ago being in a district with them, and they were tough, and they play hard, and it's always a challenge when you play them, for sure.
One of you, I think it was one of the Garcias that I thought, it wasn't Caden, it was Mackay Garcia I talked to after the Liberty game, and he talked about playing Liberty brought a little bit more juices out of you guys. Is playing Estacado, playing Coronado back-to-back, is that, not that you guys want to get too fired up, but does it get you a little bit more fired up to play these teams that were guys you know well?
Yeah, definitely beat because we know them a little better and they're a little closer to home, but also just play our game and not worry too much about it.
Now, Coach may not like this, but that loss to Liberty, I thought was the outcome wasn't what you guys wanted, but the way you guys fought and kept fighting, I thought was a good sign for you. Fair to say, Connor?
Yeah, it was a dogfight, and our team, we found later in the game how we found some gaps and we started scoring more runs and we had momentum, and that just came from the energy in the dugout and everyone and how they building everyone up. And we also had who came in, was it Mackay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mackay had come in. He started off with some walks and then he came in and got him down, and he's one that knows most of them on that team. So he definitely got fired up more for that.
Mackay seems like he could run for office and know just about anybody in town. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys do student body president out at Memorial yet, but that guy's like, he's going to be on posters someday for running for office.
Yeah, he's a very mature kid. We'll have to get him in here maybe next time and let him do his thing. But, yeah, very mature and very well-spoken and great kid on top of that.
He's a little bit different. He's the grandson of a coach. His grandpa was not only a basketball coach, but actually went and took over at Hobbs after a guy named Ralph Tasker and had a lot of success.
He's a heck of a basketball player as well. He's a good athlete and a good basketball player. So I can see where the line of basketball coach and where that comes from.
Which is, you jogged my memory there. I was typing in track results the other day, and there's a lot of familiar names from your baseball team. There's a lot of guys that, in being a first-year school, you're going to see that a lot. How much, football coaches always want their, Luke, you are a football guy, correct?
Yes.
You're a linebacker, receiver?
Receiver.
Are you a football player?
Yes, sir.
All right. Football coaches always want their guys playing track. Usually baseball you want to keep, but is it helping you to see your guys or to have your guys involved in multiple sports at the same time?
Of course. I think anytime guys get a chance to just go out and compete, no matter what they're doing, it's going to benefit everyone's program. Because
if I looked right, JD and Riker are pretty quick. They're big, lanky guys, but they're pretty fast when they get on the track.
They are. Luke's also run some track. They've also got it's a big week between baseball and the district track meet this week. So a lot going on with our guys this week.
They should sleep well.
They should.
And you probably cut some slack if the room's not completely pristine this week.
Yeah, maybe we will. But
there we go. I've got one at home too, so I totally understand. I don't even go back into her room. I'm afraid I might need a tetanus shot. So that's going to wrap us up one more time. Memorial Estacado, 7 p.m. You call it Panther Field?
Yes, sir.
All right. Clint gave it a nickname the other day I wasn't sure about. That is on sunny 97.7 FM tomorrow night. Come back after the break. We'll talk Liberty Track. They're on that district track meet that Brandon mentioned on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll come back after the break and talk to the Patriots on 100.7 The Score.